Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Hannah.
Join us as we delve into true crime, paranormal encounters, and all things spooky.
So grab your flashlight and get ready to wander into the darkness with us.
This is Wicked Wanderings.
Hey Wanderers, it's Hannah. Over the next 2 episodes, we have collaborated with our friends from Dark Mysteries podcast. The episode you're about to hear is a Dark Mysteries episode that Jess, Rob, and I had the honor of being a part of. Next week's adventure, they graciously accepted our invitation of being our guest hosts while Jess tells us the grim tale of the killer nurse from Northampton. We are loving getting to know fellow weirdos like us, so check them out, and we hope you enjoy the show. Always remember to keep on wandering.
This is Christine.
This is Jessie.
And this is Dark Mysteries.
A mist creeps up and the dusk comes in. Evil starts to stir. The sun goes down. Bad things are coming, and devil's on the loose. Dark mysteries, dark mysteries. Dark mysteries, dark mysteries.
All right, so this week we have some guests. We have Hannah and Jess from Wicked Wanderings podcast.
Hello!
Hello, guys.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So glad you guys are here. This is exciting.
We love to make new friends, so.
Yes.
Who like the same weird shit we do.
Yeah, same.
Us too.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a case that is from Denver, and it's a cold case. Jessie did all the research on it. I really know nothing about it, so we're going to learn together.
Nice.
All right, I'll take it away. So we're doing the Denver Strangler.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a really crazy case. So it started in 1894 and then ended in 1903. Most of the 3 documented killings that they can prove was this guy all happened in a 10-week span.
Oh, wow.
The rest are just kind of random that they think he did. He operated mostly off of Market Street. At that point, it was known as Strangler Row.
Ooh.
It started in, like I said, in 1884. So this area also brought in a lot of evasive serial predators, like Jack the Ripper. So there's speculation that he is Jack the Ripper.
Really? Not H.H. Holmes?
Well, they thought he was Jack the Ripper, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jack the Ripper gets around.
He does.
I'm telling you. So the reason they have even considered that as a possibility is because Jack the Ripper's criminal acts ended in 1888, and that was just a few years before the Denver Strangler came out. So because of all of this, they dubbed him the Jack the Strangler.
Jack the Strangler.
So
Oh, okay.
They can't be original.
No, they can't.
So where Market Street was at that time was in an area that traditionally housed immigrants, especially those from Europe. There were many arrests on these murders, but none of the suspects at the time even matched up. It's a really confusing case because they had so many suspects, but yet they didn't, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. So the arrests were based on grouping of the murders, similarities in the method, and common acquaintances and social patterns. His victims of 3 for sure, and 2 that are suspected, so a total of 5. Victim number 1 is Lena Tapper. She was a French prostitute. She was a mistress of Richard Demdy. And just remember that name because he will pop back up.
All right.
Both of them were part of a secret French order in which Tapper played a role of a sex servant.
Oh.
She was found strangled to death on her bed on Market Street on September 3rd, 1894. The most that was known about her was that she lived in Minnesota before moving to Denver. And like I said, we'll get back into Richard shortly.
So I'm assuming because he's compared to Jack the Ripper and this lady was a prostitute, all his victims were prostitutes?
Almost all of them.
That would kind of
Pretty
go with
much.
Jack the
I
Ripper.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a question I was going to ask. If they were ladies of the night.
Yeah, and didn't also Jack the Ripper, wasn't he known for kind of like how he bludgeoned the bodies too? Because didn't they think like he was...
They cut them up.
Yeah, but these ladies weren't?
No, they were just strangled.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, because Jack the Ripper definitely, didn't he remove some organs and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And slit throats, right?
Yeah, he was brutal.
Yeah. Victim number 2 is Marie Constetto. Constetto.
It's French. I can't pronounce it.
You know what? I get it. I know we both have done an episode on the Dyatlov Pass, and those Russian names are very hard.
Oh, those were so hard.
Yes.
I kept passing my notes over to Jesse's husband. I'm like, how do you say this word?
And we'd say it just great when, like, my husband would tell us, and then the minute we started recording, we're like,
We totally forgot how to say that.
No, words are hard when we're recording.
Exactly.
So she was, again, also a French prostitute with ties with the same, like, sex servant French order. She was living with her lover, Tony Sanders. I wasn't able to find exactly what day she was murdered, but on the day of her murder, her lover had fallen asleep reading the newspaper in his chair.
Huh.
And
Typical old man.
Her sugar daddy. Huh?
she was later found on her bed strangled by a small, stout cord. The cord was so tight that it was found, like, buried into her skin on her neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I could only imagine.
And he never woke up. He fell asleep and he didn't hear anything. Come on.
You would think there'd be some commotion.
Right?
And that's the thing about, I think, this one and this next victim, that, like, how does a house full of people not hear?
So, was it her lover that did it?
You know, actually, he never was one of the suspects.
I don't believe that. He's a suspect in my eye.
Mr. Tony
Interesting.
Sanders was
I mean,
never...
if this was her lover, like, I feel like, I mean...
He'd be suspect number 1.
Well,
Yeah,
well also, so if this is the lover, then think about it this way. We have intercourse, right? And the man passes right out right afterwards. So I'm not surprised. Right?
You have a very
Sorry, honey, but...
Rob, you have any comment?
I mean, am I right?
I have no comment. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. Everyone agrees.
And there were also visible finger marks on her neck. It didn't say whether it was, like, defensive or if, like, he tried to strangle her first and it didn't work, so he turned to a cord. I'm going with that one, just the way it is.
Yeah,
I
that...
would think she was trying to pull the cord away. And
Yeah,
she,
I never-
maybe. I don't know.
Or both.
Mm-hmm.
So at first they considered this to be a robbery because she was more of a wealthier woman, and all they found on her was 75 cents. So this is where Richard comes back into play, is he had made advances towards her. Richard and then 4 other men were arrested as suspects in her murder. 2 of them, Antonio and Emil,
Emil.
that's what I thought. Okay. Both of them had been quickly dismissed. Antonio had just recently been dismissed from the police force and was working as a messenger with the concierge, showing preference towards him. So he was like a messenger for, like,
This group.
yeah. And he had proof that he wasn't around that area at that time. It didn't really say why Emil was dismissed, but he cooked for Marie, which was victim number 2. So he was a cook for her, and it was known to be jealous of Antonio, which I don't know why that was relevant, but it was. Pretty much both of them were released due to lack of evidence. But fun fact, this is where it gets crazy. Both of them were in the home when the murder occurred, but claimed they heard nothing or saw nothing.
That sounds suspicious.
So they were all part of this group.
Yeah.
And if they were all part of this group, they were probably all in it in some form or another.
Well, you gotta think, three men were in this house when this murder occurred.
I think they're all involved.
They would have to be. They would absolutely have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
I mean,
I agree.
I can understand one heavy sleeper, but not three.
Yeah.
I don't even understand one heavy
Exactly.
sleeper.
There goes my theory.
It was a good one, though, Hannah.
Thank you.
It was a great one.
Yeah.
Kaiku Omai was a Japanese immigrant that first came to the U.S. through Chicago at the time of the World's Columbian Exposition. It was said that she got involved with Aimee. He was a cook. They came to Denver in November of 1893. I'm guessing this is when she got involved with the prostitution business. Police had raided a local prostitution business at that time, just a few days before her death. During this said raid, a lot of her associates were arrested. Kaiku, with the help of a French saloon keeper, secured all of their release, but the saloon keeper later demanded a big lump sum back from her.
So, was she not involved in this,
No,
this
she was.
group?
Not when they got raided.
But that sex group from the other two?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
A sincere expression of gratitude to our esteemed patrons. Lynn from Massachusetts, Heather from New Jersey, Chelsea from Utah, Kate from Massachusetts, Margie from Connecticut, Courtney from Massachusetts, Karen from Planet Earth, Amber from Idaho, and Stephanie from Massachusetts for their generous monthly contributions. Their support fuels the engine of our investigative endeavors here at Wicked Wanderings.
You too can become a valued patron and unlock a realm of exclusive content by supporting our mission for as little as $3 a month. Your contribution sustains our commitment to delivering high-quality content.
Visit wickedwanderingspodcast.com and click on the support tab to join the ranks of our dedicated patrons. Your investment not only keeps our podcast thriving, but also ensures that you are at the forefront of our intriguing discoveries with bonus content only available for those patron subscribers.
Thank you for considering this opportunity to deepen your engagement with Wicked Wanderings. Your support is paramount in enabling us to continue our journey into the realms of mystery and true crime. And now, back to the shit show.
I'm going with yes because I'm assuming that,
Well, and who's going to know about those things like a saloon keeper?
ta-da. So he was demanding his money back for his efforts. This made her really angry, and she would bicker with him about it a lot. It was later known to be found out that she would go around talking shit about this saloon keeper, which obviously did not make him happy. So after she talked with friends one night, she went home and went to bed. This is November 13th. Her lover, Lemai, went for a walk, conveniently.
I was going to say, how convenient.
Right. All this just seems out of convenience.
Right.
They conveniently fell asleep.
Yeah.
When he returned home, he found her on the bed with a towel around her throat. She was still alive at this point, barely. He quickly took the towel off her throat. Again, this is weird. And in a full panic, he ran across the street and called Hannah, another Japanese woman, for help. Caillou had died by the time they arrived back with Officer Carberry. So isn't that weird that, like, your person's dying?
Scream out the window or something.
Right?
I feel like everyone knew each other's business back then.
Yeah, right?
So, yeah, she died before they got back. But the officer their behavior caught his attention. And when he looked around, there's a strong indication of a struggle. Like, the bed sheets, they had blood on them. They were disarray. Like, there was a second towel found that was damp. The room drawers were rifled through. keys that had both front and back door keys were missing. So it almost seems staged to me.
My thing is, how is this the same person that killed the other two? Because it seems a lot different besides the strangulation.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit different.
Yeah.
Maybe because these other murders happened, he's like, well, I'm going to murder her and I'm going to make it try to look like a copycat.
Yeah, when I did this victim, that's kind of what I got was it was just big fight, everything happened, and now he's going to make it look like what's been going on in the town. Okay, so...
They needed us for detectives back then.
Yeah. Put us on it, the case would have been solved, right?
Right? So the towel that was on her neck was, like, deliberately, like, garroted. Like when you twist something so tight.
I was thinking tourniquet, but I don't think that's the right term either.
It's like, yeah. But
Maybe... I don't know.
Where's the husband when I need him? He explained it perfectly last night. So her lover, along with several Japanese women, were arrested on suspicion, but again quickly released because of lack of evidence.
So why were these women arrested?
I'm wondering maybe just because they were in the vicinity.
Okay, that's dumb.
They seem to like to arrest people and then let them go.
Right?
Yeah, because I mean, not to hate on the female sex, but, like, I don't think we'd be strong enough, necessarily.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of strength to strangle someone.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to kill somebody.
Yeah, like 7 to 8 minutes strangling, I think.
Is it really?
Last time I did it. I'm just kidding.
I think after a couple minutes, I would give up.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, I'm tired. I'm done.
I'm done. Sorry about that.
I'm still stuck on the wet towel for some reason.
I was too, and it never went into any description or anything. It just said it was found next to her body, and it's like, did she get out of the shower? And I don't know.
That's weird, yeah.
My mind is strangely going to, like,
It's a sex towel.
Oh, no, I was going
That's
to, like...
where mine went.
Well, I was kind of thinking, is he trying to clean away evidence? But they didn't have DNA back then.
Or that. Leave it to Jess to go
No, but
dirty.
what's the stuff that makes you fall asleep? Is it chloroform?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So she
Ether?
wouldn't struggle?
Oh.
I don't know. That's where my mind goes.
Would they be able to tell if they're...
I like yours better than mine.
I don't know back then if they'd be able to tell. Because they didn't really have...
Yeah, I don't know when...
I
I never
know.
smell chloroform,
Like,
but I mean, I'm sure it doesn't.
I don't think they'd go around smelling the towel.
We'll find out real quick if it is.
That might be a little gross.
Oh my goodness. So...
And I can just see you walking around sniffing towels.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
It's something I would do. I'd be like, oh.
No. Anyways.
No, you'd be the one being like, you dumbass.
What is wrong with you?
So there was 2 suspected victims.
Okay.
Julia Vought. Julia did not live on the notorious Market Street. She lived nearby on Champa Street during these murders. She was a known clairvoyant and medium. So during one of her trances, she claimed to authorities that the spirits had given her a full description of the Denver Strangler. So she was later found dead on the floor of her apartment with a towel around her throat. This was, I think, on October 7th, 1898. Some think the Strangler killed her because she actually had information on him, or he was superstitious and then deciding to get rid of her to avoid exposure.
That really actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is interesting because this was the time for, like, spiritualism was a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, when people were into, like, mediums and seances and stuff. So that's really
Yes.
interesting.
So I could totally see whoever this murderer was being, okay, I'm gonna get caught because of this woman, and totally she was a target after that.
Yeah, I agree. Hers makes a lot of sense because of that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the next one was Mabel Brown. In 1903, about 9 years after the first murders occurred, living on Market Street, Mabel was found dead in her room. And this is weird. tied by a pair of suspenders, a handkerchief in her mouth, and marks of strangulation. What makes this as possibly a victim is, like most of the others, she was found on her bed. So all the 3 others were all found on their bed.
I feel like they're using a weapon of opportunity in each one.
Yes.
Yes.
Because there's no, like, set thing. Like, yes, he'll always use, like...
Something that would have been found in the room.
Cord,
A
or
cord,
towel,
yeah.
or the sands.
Like the cord was close by, or the towel, or... Yeah, I agree.
Right.
It's said that this strangler had at least 2 unsolved murders in 2 different states. There was a 3rd, but someone else died from the death penalty on that one. So one of the first ones was Minnie Keldent. She was on May 31st, 1894 in New York City, New York. And Josie Bennett, June 30th, 1894 in Buffalo, New York. And then Mary Eckert, and I swear done something with, not a case, but maybe I've watched
That name does sound familiar.
Yeah.
It really
Eckert?
does.
Mary Eckert?
Yeah.
Don't we work with some Eckards at White Lion?
Oh, maybe that's why.
That's why, yeah.
We work at a brewery part-time, so that's why.
That's why, yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
But somebody had already been convicted and died of the death penalty for her death, so she got kind of taken off the playing board for one of his victims.
Well, whoever this is, if he did do those other ones, he sure did move around a lot.
Yeah, he did.
If this was Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning, there were so many suspects, but I'm only going to tell you about the couple that kind of stood out to me. Of course, we're going to go back to Richard. He was only charged with Lena's death, and all the evidence they had on him was circumstantial. But at the time, he was the most considered suspect for all the other ones. At trial, a total of 45 witnesses were brought to testify against him, one being a woman that he was being intimate with. Her name was Laura Johnson. And she was supposed to have, like, this huge, incredible testimony against him. It didn't say whether or not she did. They also brought forward a man and a woman who claimed that they witnessed her struggling with Richard through a window. He was also accused of trying to bribe a judge. And prosecutors claim they had a copy of the check that proves said claims.
Oh,
That's never good.
But even with all of that, the jury acquitted him of all charges, and literally right after the trial, he moved to Brazil.
Yeah, he's guilty.
He probably bribed them too.
Yeah, and let's remember, I don't think women could get on juries till, 1940 or something? So it was probably all men. They're like, oh, just let him off.
He'll be fine.
She was just a prostitute. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, at least for hers, he's definitely 100%.
If he wasn't guilty, he wouldn't have moved to Brazil.
Right.
Maybe a couple states over, but all the way to Brazil.
Right. The next one was Frank Rock. He was a married French-Canadian who lived close to Market Street, and he was said to match the description of a man running away from Caillou's crime scene. He was released shortly after that because the cops couldn't get a confession and realized very quickly he couldn't be the killer. They didn't explain why.
Why couldn't he? Because they couldn't do their job right?
Probably.
I'm with you on that one.
I'm going with he probably was like a smaller person. I don't know.
Okay.
And then the last suspect, they didn't have an actual first name for him. It's H. Miller. He was an Italian man that was very briefly considered a suspect after an incident that happened on November 18, 1894, where he had entered a house belonging to Marie Vendres, and after a quarrel between the two, he began to strangle her. When police arrived, he was just about ready to cut her throat with a razor.
Oh.
Like, you're just going to continue as police are barging in, but what do I know?
Well, that doesn't match the MO
No.
either, so...
Yeah, I was going to say the other ones weren't cut.
That's why he was not considered a suspect anymore. They just assumed that he had a really bad temper and he wasn't getting what he wanted.
Typical male,
Well, I was going to say.
What a crybaby.
right?
That is my case on the Denver Strangler.
Awesome.
I don't know. Could it be Jack the Ripper? I don't think so.
He would have had to completely change his MO.
Yeah. Yeah.
He like cut women up.
Yeah, I don't think it would be. I just think they connected the time period and the prostitutes, and that's the only reason.
Yeah, like he was the only one.
Kind of makes you wonder, though, like, what happened after.
Could H.H. Holmes have been Jack the Ripper? I think so.
I mean, he had a whole hotel.
Yeah. That guy was committed.
It's just London wasn't doing it for him anymore.
Yeah.
I moved to Market Street.
Anyways, that's all we have for you tonight.
Yay!
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for letting us come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is fun.
Yes, we should do it again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Every week. I'm just kidding.
We could do that.
We don't want to scare them off,
I'm
Jess.
sorry. I just want more friends.
We'll be your friends.
Okay. Okay, good.
We're officially friends now.
Besties.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Thanks for listening today.
Wicked Wanderings is hosted by Hannah Fitzpatrick.
And me, Jess Goonan.
And it's produced by Rob Fitzpatrick.
Music by Sasha End.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave us a rating and review.
And be sure to follow us on all our socials. You can find the links down in the show notes.
And if you're looking for some Wicked Cozy t-shirts or hoodies, head over to our merch store.
Thank you for being a part of the Wicked Wanderings community. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Stay curious,
Keep exploring.
and always remember to keep on wandering.
Get ready to rock your style with Wicked Wanderings.
Introducing our brand new merch.
Cozy up in our Wicked hoodies.
Or flaunt your vibe in our sweet ass t-shirt.
Join the Wicked Wanderings crew. Explore the mysterious.
And head to our merch store now.
The link is in the show notes below.